Did you know that black robin from New Zealand islands once vanished completely and people thought that they were extinct? And then in 1980 they were found again and only 5 were remaining and only one of them was a female. Now there are 300 plus and all are descendants to that one female. Because of some humans' effort they were brought back from extinction, although humans also puts them in near extinction. The Chatham Island black robin, a landmark conservation success story. The Chatham Island black robin, Petroica traversii, known as karure or kakaruia in Māori, is a small, entirely black songbird endemic to the Chatham Islands, about 800 kilometers east of New Zealand's South Island. This insectivorous bird, which forages on the forest floor and nests in tree hollows, was once abundant across the archipelago but faced near extinction due to habitat destruction and invasive predators like rats and cats introduced by human settlers in the 19th century. By the early 1900s, it survived only on the tiny, rocky Little Māori Island, just 0.15 square kilometers, where ongoing degradation reduced its numbers further. It was first described by Walter Buller in 1872. The binomial commemorates the New Zealand botanist Henry H. Travers 1844-1928. Unlike its mainland counterparts, its flight capacity is somewhat reduced. Evolution in the absence of mammalian predators made it vulnerable to introduced species, such as cats and rats, and it became extinct on the main island of the Chatham group before 1871, being restricted to Little Māori Island thereafter. The first mention of the black robin in science was at a presentation given by William Travers at the Wellington Philosophical Society in 1871. He presented the findings of his son, Henry Travers, who had visited the Chatham Islands to investigate their fauna. Although Henry Travers' notes on his visit were published the following year, it was the publication of Walter Buller a month later that is considered the species' official description. 5. In 1905 it was believed to be completely vanished. The so-called black-tit or black robin, Miro traversii, have fallen victims to man and his satellites. The brink of extinction and heroic recovery efforts. In 1972, only 18 black robins remained, dropping to just 7 by 1976, all moved to the larger, restored Māori Island, where 120,000 trees had been planted for better habitat. By 1980, the global population hit a dire low of 5 birds, including just one fertile breeding female nicknamed Old Blue. Without intervention, extinction seemed inevitable. The turnaround came through innovative work by conservationist Don Merton and the New Zealand Wildlife Service, now the Department of Conservation, or DOC. Key strategies included cross-fostering. Eggs were removed from black robin nests and placed in those of the closely related Chatham Island tomtit, Petroica macrocephala chathamensis, which acted as foster parents. This allowed black robin females to lay replacement clutches, effectively doubling productivity. Translocations. Birds were moved between predator-free islands like Māori and Rangatira, Hokararioro, Southeast Island, to establish self-sustaining populations. Habitat restoration. Massive tree planting and predator monitoring on these reserves. Old Blue proved pivotal, producing multiple generations before dying at age 14 in 1986. Her descendants form the entire current population. These efforts, often called one of the world's greatest conservation triumphs, boosted numbers to about 200 by 1998, when intensive management briefly paused. Current status and ongoing challenges. As of 2025, the population stands at around 350 birds, split roughly evenly between Māori and Rangatira, up from 300 in 2021. This progress led to a 2022 IUCN Red List downlisting from endangered to vulnerable, reflecting improved resilience. However, the species remains nationally critical in New Zealand due to low genetic diversity from the severe bottleneck. All birds share similar DNA, increasing vulnerability to diseases or inbreeding depression. Recent threats include declines on Māori, down to approximately 30 birds by 2021, though stabilizing. Risk of accidental predator introductions. Natural disasters and limited habitat. Black robins will generally start to breed at 2 years of age. The female robin will make the nest, and while she lays and incubates the eggs, the male will feed the female for a rest. Eggs are laid between early October and late December. A second clutch may be laid if the first is unsuccessful. The clutch size varies from 1 to 3 eggs, but 2 is typical. Eggs are creamy in color with purple splotches. When the eggs are laid, the female will sit on them to keep them warm until they hatch, after about 18 days. Then both parents will help to feed the chicks. Young robins stay in the nest for about 23 days after hatching, but even after leaving the nest the parents will continue to feed them until they are about 65 days old. This period of parental care is longer than would normally be expected for a bird of this size. After leaving the nest, Chicks often spend the first day or two on the ground learning to use their wings, and here they are exposed to predators. Survivorship between 1980 and 1991 indicates a mean life expectancy of 4 years. Old Blue, the sole breeding female in 1980, lived for over 14 years. Some black robins can live from 6 to 13 years. Genomic research has revealed surprising adaptations. Despite inbreeding, the population shows fewer harmful mutations than expected, possibly due to the island's isolated evolution. DOC's 2023 Structured Decision-Making Report outlines future steps, including reintroductions to new sites on the main Chatham Island Rakohut Warakauri and Pitt Island Rangihat Rangioria to spread risk and build community ties. In 2022-2023, translocations of females to Māori showed early success, with most adapting well. Why it matters. The black robin's story symbolizes hope for island endemics worldwide, inspiring similar efforts for species like the critically endangered Fatu Haiva monarch in French Polynesia. It underscores the power of human intervention, through science, collaboration with indigenous knowledge e.g., Moriori and Maori perspectives, and persistence, in reversing biodiversity loss. As Doc lead Tersha Thurley notes, success can breed complacency, but vigilance ensures this rarest bird stays back in black.